the deputy governor of Edo State, was on the program, and it was a conversation that came from what the governor of Edo State, Godwin Obaseki, has said. The warning that he gave in relation to the crisis rocking the PDP. Tonight, I have joining me from Manchester in the UK, Jude Imagwe, a member of the PDP in Edo State, and a former aide to former President Goodluck Jonathan. Thank you so much, Mr. Imagwe, for joining us. Give us a sense, of what is happening. The governor has sent a warning to those who think that they wanted to fight him. And it does look like the deputy governor is saying, look, they want to push them out of the PDP. Why is this issue of harmonization causing trouble in the PDP in Edo State?
First, thank you for having me. I don't know if you can hear me. Thank you for having me. And,
yeah, you please go ahead.
Yeah, and thank you for creating a platform for us to get certain records straight. Now, the truth remains that I don't think we have a problem of harmonization in Edo State. We only have a problem of honesty, sincerity, and transparency. Now, it's painful and it's a pitiable situation that we have found ourselves where we are today. And some of the statements that were credited to the governor some days ago, I do not think they are statements that should come from a leader, a father, and an executive governor. Three things are key here. The first one is looking at the constitution of the party. There are clear definitions in chapter 2, part 1 of it, membership. Now, you don't come into a party to say you want to become an executive. You come into a party first to become a member. And I have not seen anywhere in the 18 local government of Edo State where the world chairman of the People's Democratic Party have denied anybody, I mean any and everybody, the privilege of registering into the party. Not the world chairman, not the LGA chairman, not the state chairman has done any of these things. So on that part, they are not right. They are not sincere to the people to say that the PDP is not granting them inclusiveness. The second aspect of it, the governor is always hammering on the leader of the party. Nobody is saying you are not a leader. We have several other leaders in the party. But as a governor of the state, yes, you have another privilege. Now, taking away the executive power of a governor away from him and bringing him into the party as a party member, he's a leader, but he's one of the leaders of the party. And for the purpose of clarity, the governor got this thing about inclusiveness and harmonization wrong from the inception. After election, what was needed for a governor that honestly want to carry out transparency, sincerity, and inclusiveness was a family meeting. This was not done. Secondly, the window period between when the governor began to constitute his cabinet to the time he even constituted a cabinet created a very strong room for doubt, mistrust, and deception. Then the third aspect of it, the governor has allowed himself to inherit a crisis that ab initio is not part of him. Now, if we want to go to discuss about inclusiveness, like the deputy governor, my senior comrade, mentioned yesterday, when the governor came to PDP, he came with his complete structure. When I'm talking about structure, I'm not talking about party structure. I'm talking about himself, his deputy governor, his chief of staff, the secretary to the state government, and the speaker. Now, it is important for us to equally get one thing clear. Before today, the governor should not be using that assertion that he made PDP to win election. No. 3 senatorial districts, PDP has always won 2. And even with the presence of the governor to our party, we still want only those 2. The governor himself, before coming to PDP, was being represented in National Assembly, in the House of Reps by a PDP representative, in the senatorial district by a PDP senator, which means we were not lacking in structure, we were not lacking in manpower, we were not lacking in popularity.
Apologies to cut in, Jude. Jude, let me cut in quickly. And I'd like to ask, within the limit of the time that we have, just 3 or 4 quick questions. I'd like you to help me tackle them straight on. First and foremost, were there agreements with the governor and his team when they were moving into the PDP on the structure and the sharing formula of the structure? Were there agreements?
Now, that is like you said 3 questions, so I'm waiting for the 2 other questions so I can take them all at once.
I'm not going to ask the 3 questions together. I'm asking them one after the other. So I wanted you to answer them in quick. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. To the best of my knowledge, I was not part of any agreement. I do not know if there was an agreement between the governor, the then immediate past state chairman, who today is the vice chairman of South South, the former national chairman of the People's Democratic Party. But I know there was crisis owing to the entrance of the governor to the party. There was crisis. And by the grace of God, I was one of those persons too that equally signed a document accepting the governor's presence and membership into the People's Democratic Party. I was the youngest that signed that document. I can mention the names of other leaders that signed that document. We signed that document in good faith. We signed that document believing that we're not going to have the crisis that we've never had. Okay, so
my next question, my next question, I think you have attended to that one. My next question will be, was there any expectation from those the governor met in the PDP, an obligation that the governor is not meeting at the moment?
Shehu, my brother, to be very honest and with the fear of God, we were not expecting anything other than inclusiveness and acceptance from the governor. Every old member of the PDP have accepted and will continue to welcome the governor with open heart. But they have refused to accept us as brothers and partners. See, my brother Shehu, we have
you guys are the ones that he met on the ground that are not accepting them. The deputy governor says you are the ones that are not accepting them, that they brought the state chairman of the APC, they brought a whole lot of big wigs from the APC, but they have not been given slots, positions in the PDP. They have not been welcomed. They have not had a seat in the PDP. That's the allegation the deputy governor laid yesterday.
In talking about slot, not talking about position. We are talking about people that were constitutionally elected. On the 14th of March 2020, I am part of that executive. I'm the ex official of the state. We were democratically elected. So coming to say that you just want to dissolve a democratically elected ESCO without a political settlement or a negotiated exit cannot stand. That is one, because you cannot tell the governor to be dissolved and we want to get a deputy governor. We didn't discuss that with them. We have accepted them as one. The deputy governor himself should be honest with issues on ground. Are they open? Are they open to the people?
On a final note, Jude. On a final note, Jude. Let me ask you: is there any template? Is there any template that you have laid? I mean, your group now that have been on the ground, the old PDP in Edo. Is there any template that you have laid on the ground that is not being followed?
See, Shehu, let me explain something. Let me explain something, Shehu. It's a very easy thing. I don't think we would have gotten to this stage that we are now if people have been honest and sincere. See, the governor is the governor. The governor has the knife. The governor has the yam. The governor equally has the instrumentality of government to buy gas or choose to buy kerosene or petrol to cook. All that is needed. If before election, a governor can appoint over 167 people as senior special assistants, I don't think there is anything wrong. See, our local government council has been dissolved for over a year. We do not have local government structure ranging from the councillors, supervisory councillors to the executive. What is wrong with compensating people? See, you must see, when I say negotiated exit, it means, and it can be called political settlement. It means I want to take from you as world chairman. I want to take from you as local government chairman. I know you contested the election, you won. So I'm replaced, go and become a local government chairman, come and become a supervisor, come and become an SSE, come and become a PA to government.
I'm very sure that this is a matter that is going on and perhaps with the intervention of the national body might be resolved. But I must sincerely thank you, Jude, because we are totally out of time. Jude Imagwe is chieftain of the PDP in Edo State and a former aide to former President Goodluck Jonathan. Thank you so much indeed for talking to us. He's been speaking with us from Manchester in the United Kingdom. I must sincerely